Good morning, welcome to Waters Ironworks. We are out at Pioneer Farms, and this morning I thought we'd do something a little different. We're going to take a look at twists. Hopefully this will be part of a longer series of videos. Each video will explore one or two twists in a variety of different ways, show you what all that looks like. Since this is the first video, we're going to take things very easy, and we're going to take a look at square twists. So I've got a number of pieces heating up in the fire right now. We'll take a look at what it looks like when we twist it different amounts. So we'll start with probably a quarter turn, half turn, full turn. We'll knock off the corners at one point. We may even put some lines down and we'll kind of see how it goes. But the idea is to really explore all the different variations that you can do with a single twist. And in the next series, or next videos in this series, we'll take a look at other twists, and we'll get into some more complex things like Rubik's twist, dragon scale twist, pineapple twist, things like that. So I'll let this finish heating up, and we'll see you at the vise in a second. Thanks. All right, we've got the first piece hot. Let's pull it out and take it over to the vise. So we're going to start this off very simply. Got a twisting wrench here. Just going to put a quarter twist in this. Tighten that up. Twist it one flat. Let's quench that. Let's take a look at it. Woo, it's still a little warm there. So when I say one flat, what I'm indicating is that we turn it 90 degrees. So it goes, the square has 4 different flats on it, so each flat we turn it is a 90 degrees turn. In this particular one, we can see how quickly it dried off, indicating it's still a little warm. You know, it looks pretty good. We've got a nice kind of subtle curve there. But what I really want to see is comparing a whole bunch of these with a different number of flats, and you'll see how much that twist changes. So let's go grab another piece. They should all be getting warm. And let's twist it 2 flats for this next one. Out of the fire. Into the vise. Twisting wrench. There's one. There's 2. So this is a 180 degree turn. Pull it out, cool it down a little bit. So we've gone from a twist of 1 flat to 2 flats, and we can see how much twistier that looks. Really a very different look to the piece of steel. All that is an additional quarter turn. Let's grab another one. We'll do 3 quarters and then 1 quarter, and then a full set. Just keep comparing these. Twisting is a great blacksmithing technique. It makes pieces look, so there's 1, 2, 3. As I was saying, it makes pieces look really unique. It doesn't take a lot of additional time to twist it. So if you're making something with a lot of vertical elements to it, like you're making a gate or a railing, putting these twists in it can really step up your game without adding a whole lot of time or expense to the piece that you're making. So quarter, half, 3/4 or 3 flats here, and that twist is really becoming a lot more pronounced. Let's grab one more. We'll do a full full 4 flats to get us back to our original position here. Let's see how that looks. Release that. Man, these things always look great when they're hot. I really wish there was a way to keep kind of that inner color on the steel. So there we go. These are all basically the same size bar. And by just varying the number of times we twist it, we get a pretty dramatic difference in the look on that piece of steel, from very subtle to very pronounced. Now I'm not going to keep going quarter twists or 1 flat at a time. Let's grab one more piece. We're going to go straight up to 2 full twists and see what that looks like. There we go. So there's 1. Let's go for 2. This is a pretty short piece of steel, so it's a little tricky to twist it, a little hard. This adjustable bending wrench does a great job of handling it though, getting that extra leverage. I'll show you guys in a video on how you can make your own bending wrench. So there's 2. That's twice all the way around, and we can really see how much tighter those twists are getting. I do think you get to a point where you kind of lose the value of the twist if you twist it too much. This looks pretty reasonable. I'm going to grab one more. We'll try and do 3 if we can and really see how tight that gets. Like I said, at some point, and I'm suspecting with 3 here, I do think it becomes unattractive. It looks just too tight, too much like a screw. Try and do this quickly here. So there's 1. 2. 3. Yeah, may not be as bad. Yeah. Not a big fan of the way this one looks. So there's 3 twists. We've got a couple things going on with this. One, you can see just how tight those twists are. Personally, not the hugest fan. I think it looks a little crowded in there. And you can also see where the steel started cooling down from both the post vise and the twisting wrench. The twists are a little less pronounced there at the end. So if I was going to be doing these twists, I would probably stop somewhere in this 2 range. I don't know that I like that 3, but maybe there's an application for it. So let's now change it up a little bit. We're going to do a couple variations on this and see what it looks like. So the next one I'm going to pull out, I'm actually going to go in and knock the corners off it, reheat it, and then twist it. We'll do one twist, a full 4 flats, so that we can compare it against this one and see what that looks like. But putting some subtle changes into it can make a big difference in how the overall twist looks. Take it to the anvil here, and I'm just knocking the corners off of it. We've got enough heat in there that we could probably do a twist, but I want to do this a little bit scientific, so we'll let it get back up to full heat, and then we'll twist it all at once. We've got some more pieces in the fire, and that one we knocked the corners off is back up to heat. So let's grab it, drop it. Key part of this whole endeavor, as always. Stick it in the vise here. Let's twist it. So we said we were going to do a single twist. Hey, good morning, Justin. Come on in. 1 flat, 2 flats, 3 flats, 4 flats gets us back to our original. Open the vise up into the quench tub. So let's move all these down. Let's put this one up next to its buddy here. Right, so these two are the same twist. Let me actually dry that off a little bit so you guys can see it better. What I like about this twist is just knocking those corners in a little bit. I think adds an extra dimension. Hopefully it's showing up on the camera, but it provides, instead of a single line, each line becomes a double line as it moves along the twist. And I think that, you know, for the amount of time you're putting into it, really kind of amps up the look, gives it a little bit more complexity. But let's take it a little further. So that one I just barely knocked the corners in. I'm going to need to wait for the steel to heat up, but once it does, let's come in and we'll do a much more aggressive knocking in of the corners and see what that twist looks like. We've got another piece hot. Let's grab this and we're going to come in and do a much more aggressive knocking in of the corners. Let's bring it to the anvil. I'm not going all the way to an octagon here. This is going to be a lot rounder than that last one was. That looks pretty good. We can see how much wider those are. It's not quite an octagon, but it's getting pretty close. Let's put that back in, heat it up. I'm going to pull this one that we knocked the corners off of out. Let's put that into the vise and twist it. Ooh. There's a quarter, there's a half. 3/4. That should be a full. With the corners knocked in, my wrench was not holding it quite as well. Into the quench tub. Toss that up there next to its buddies. Let me dry it off a little bit here for you guys. So you can see you're getting a more complex twist as we add more facets. There's more for the light to play off of, and I think it starts looking a little more interesting. So all of these twists, all square bar, really minimal amount of hammer work in between the different twists, and you can see how much variation you get by the number of times you twist it, the number of flats you go, between 1/4 all the way up to 3 we looked at, and then what it looks like when you start introducing some additional faces. Every flat or corner that you've got in a bar is going to show up in your twists. That's really what twisting is all about, is adjusting those different lines that are on the bar. If you twist a perfectly round bar, it's still a perfectly round bar. It doesn't look like anything. So hopefully this was interesting for you guys. I think I am out of propane, and so we'll take a look at some more twisting when I go fill those canisters back up. Thanks a lot. Have a great day, and see you at the forge.